I'm back. Let's roll. Gunpowder plot. You are sitting on a solitary bench in a gazebo in the Archduke's garden. Tall lanterns spread through the dim glow in the cool evening air. When Gaius Tempest became overseer of Magra, one of his first edicts granted the commoners entry to the Archduke's garden. At the time, many Magrans saw this gesture as a sign of future change. But, unfortunately, and here it comes, the right to visit the Archduke's garden is not the only new right the commoners now enjoy by the grace of the Overseer Tempest. It does little to ease the burden of double taxation or the need to work the mines without gunpowder. Serpentine, slow-stoned, what's that word I'm looking for? Stone-paved road, gosh, leads to the gazebo. Many flower beds are nestled in the bends and coils of the elaborate path I cannot read today. In the distance, on the other end of the path, you finally see Sophia's silhouette. No thank you, goodbye, B-word. She takes a look around and then steps over the low fence and walks you through the flowers. I have trouble finding you here, Brante. Let's meet in one of the usual places next time. It isn't safe here. That's exactly why I want to be here. Because I want to lose you! You agree, although you are sick and tired of the stuffy basement rooms and trash-filled ruins where you typically arrange to meet leaders of the Last Straw cells. Okay, let's get to it. The Last Straw needs gunpowder. We could really use some. If we had gunpowder, we could blow up the Emperor's statue in the Golden Square or wall of the city armory. There's all kinds of stuff that we could do. The thing is you can't find it anymore. Even owning it is forbidden, thanks to the Overseer. The Magran industry has had to swallow a bitter pill and trade their fancy new gunpowder for good old shovels. Except not everybody got rid of it, luckily for us, right? That new friend of yours, Mayor Egmont, he's a resourceful fellow. He started buying gunpowder by the barrels some 20 years ago in the work mines. They'll still use it in his mines, but late at night so nobody finds out. There's a warehouse where they keep mountains of that stuff, Brante. We need to get our hands on it. If we can get the mayor to hand it over on his own, all the better. But if he digs his heels in, we'll just pay the warehouse and visit and grab it. Done deal. What do you say? Yeah, we don't need it. No, we're not doing this. I need to keep him in good graces. You shake your head. Meddling with the gunpowder sounds far too dangerous. The Last Straw's greatest asset is secrecy. Gunpowder means explosions, and explosions cannot be kept secret. To prove your point, you remind Sophia that your goal is to keep innocent casualties to a minimum. Gunpowder never discriminates. An explosion would slay the innocent and the guilty alike. Over the past few months, the Last Straw has been growing steadily in strength. You have enough men for any operation. Why risk all of it for such a dubious opportunity? Dubious is stupid word. Sophia breathes in deeply, ready to make her case, but says nothing. A few moments later, she quickly exhales and sits next to you. It's pretty here, although I don't like the gardens and parks all that much. They're beautiful, but useless, Just like a place for aimless walk and idle chit-chat. Fits the noble way of life, I guess. I suppose you're right, Brante. My powder can go to the foot of the pillar for all I care. We'll do just fine without it. Stay here with me for a while, okay? I don't want to be here all by myself. Can I? Okay. I want to be a fighter! Today's a big day for the Brante family. The day your family line started, the day when you remember all of your ancestors. Tonight, everyone who bears the name Brante must descend into the family crypt, keep vigil by the tombs. Okay, this is a time to surrender yourselves to your ancestors and hear their will. I don't give a crap. The entire family prepares for an event in silence. Stefan has been choosing his apparel since morning, practically anxious under his breath for a while. There has been a special place in the family vigil. Even Mother is planning to go with you, though Father tries to talk her out of it. Lydia, I beg of you, stay home. You're far too weak for an all-night vigil in the crypt. Gloria, would you be so kind to stay with your mother since you cannot join us anyway? Gloria answers in a muffled voice. As you wish, Sir Robert. Late Sir Gregor would only be enraged to see Mother there. We all remember how his last encounter ended. Father nods curtly, avoiding Gloria's gaze. But at that moment, your attention is drawn to a noise in the foyer. Nathan staggers through the door, stumbling over his own feet. He reeks of cheap wine and filth. Great. I'm not a... They am a... Everyone gazes at him in consternation. Yeah. Nathan almost falls into the floor in Gloria's arms, distressed. They fuss over him. Stefan eyes his younger brother coldly. I expect nothing more of you. I know. The thing is with Stefan is it's really just the same old crap over and over. He doesn't move the story forward anymore. So if you guys want to read it, you can read it. But I'm just perusing his lines at this point and seeing if there's anything important. Along with Father and Stefan, you descend into the family crypt. You remember paying your last respects to your grandfather years ago. You light the lamps. Dim, eerie flames taking place. The all-night vigil has begun. First, your ancestors remain silent. Each of you is left to your own thoughts, and a low murmur passes around you. Shadows in the corners of the room deepen. Voice grows stronger. You know that the... You didn't have to grow that much stronger, okay? You're still dead. Long-forgotten commoners whom you never knew are trying to talk to you. But now memory of them has come to life in the darkness of the crypt. They are pleading for something, demanding it of you, calling for you, screaming. Finally, you hear that painfully familiar, deep, imperious voice echo from the far end of the chamber. Screw you! It's been a long time since I've seen you all. I hope you bear good tidings, and this time I have been waiting for you to fulfill my mission. Remember, as long as I'm in your blood, I will give you no peace. I did not have my family noble justice say our line cut short. Our blood tide must join the grander flow of the empire, and then each of my descendants will inherit nobility forever and ever. But I do not see any of you before my tomb. Where are you hiding? Where's the head of our family? The man who will speak to me. Where is the man who would heed my will? Father rises to his knees and makes his way towards grandfather's tombstone, the source of that booming voice, but Stefan suddenly pushes him out of the way. Probably better. Father takes an indignant step forward, but Stefan firmly bars the way. Stop it, Stefan. You are my heir, but you are not the head of this family. Father, not you, Sir Gregor is addressing. Earning nobility of the sword is my duty to him. He has long forsaken any hope of seeing you achieve it. You must understand that I'm the one who will fulfill that duty. Stefan does not let him pass. Oh, man. I had to be a nobleman. That's okay. Both your father and brothers seem to have forgotten that you were here too. Even the restless voices of your ancestors have grown hushed. Waiting for the outcome of this confirmation. I just want to throw Nathan at it. Just pick him up by the pants in the back of the collar, just chunk him right at the place where his voice is coming from. Stefan sucks. Y'all put a lot of pressure on my shoulders. You block Stefan's way. Father's voice fills the dark crypt. You demand your brother step back. The head of the family is your father, Robert, and so it will be as long as he lives. Could your brother have forgotten this part of the noble law to acknowledge and honor seniority? Your father is the man who must bear and accept your ancestors' will. Stefan tries to maintain his composure, but even in the dark you can see his face twitch. But seniority! I'm the man who bears the duty to grandfather. Please bring me here. You resolutely push your brother to one side. Whether he wants it or not, he will give way to the head of the family. Father catches his breath and approaches grandfather's tomb. Oh, Robert, you come to disappoint me yet again? Stefan is right. I have not put my hopes in you for quite some time. If anyone will lead the Brante family glory, it will be my grandson. Stefan clenches his fist and whispers something to himself, and then I immediately punch him in the face and go, I am doing my utmost, father. We are closer to becoming nobles of the sword than ever before. The overseer looks upon us with favor. Just a couple more years and your dream will come true. This must be your dream too, Robert. But you still cater to your foundlings, Lydia and Gloria, risking a permanent blemish upon the Brante name. My name! You're dead! Dead though I may be. It's a little spooky. My wish lives on. Heed it at last. Get rid of the troll of Gloria and devote yourself to my family. Otherwise you will lead our family to shame and ruin. Father hesitates for a moment. No, father, this is impossible, even if I must defy your will. I'm telling you, Dad is a kindred spirit here. Dad is a spirit that like we've got. My honor and my conscience will not allow me to do what you demand. You must accept this or keep fighting me for all eternity. The voice of your deceased ancestor fades away. He seems to have left the realm, but his voice suddenly booms in another side of the crypt. Stefan! You're the heir of this family, your duty. My blood is to earn us a place in eternity. Do not take out your spineless father. Do what must be done. Cleanse the family of... Excuse me? Stefan is shivering. He replies in an unsteady voice. But of glory I can't. Stefan checks himself. No, you will not hurt my sister. The crypt is completely silent once more. You are alone again. You see tears glistening on Stefan's face. Without uttering a word, he goes out. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. No, don't do this because he's going to kill Gloria. No, there's no harmony. I know, it took some willpower. Why can't I be a fighter? I need to be a mediocre fighter at least. It's been months since Sophia left the city on Felipe's urgent orders. You have no idea where she went. Until she returns, the last straw has been laying low. You have a tendency to print. You have to tend to print the shop all by yourself. Early morning. Father Fouad welcomes you to the print shop. He looks like he was just asleep a moment ago himself. Of course he does. It's Father Fouad. He gets up and makeshift bed of crates and beckons you closer with a finger.
So, Brante, I got something to tell you, young man. So, I'm hitting around last night and I was walking around and dude was totally stoned out with this, son of a noble dude. And he was like, that dude can, down some brownies, dude. I never seen no one hold the weed like that. Very weak on alcohol, though. One sip, boom, he's on the ground. It was awful. You said something about a family's vigil. Anyways, I'm giving you way too much information to get to this. Made my rounds last night, so to speak. I stopped by a few floor houses, hit a few taverns, and all the dens of inquiry. I met a young man we could use, not sure if we could trust him, though. His name is Gustav.
That name sounds familiar.
Told me he comes from Eterna. He says he's on the run from the secret chancery. He insists he was with the underground there in the capital. The Lotless, they're called. They're responsible for the March of the Colors 4 years back. I was like, bruh. And he was like, bruh. So Gustav tells me all the Lotless were nabbed by the secret chancery. Spooked their march. Thinks Anazote underground could be in danger too. Trouble is, that's all he told me. It's not exactly a trusting fellow. I think he ought... I think one of us ought to talk to him, find out who he is and what he knows. Looks shady if you ask me, but maybe we could use him here. What do you say, young man?
You thank Father Fouad for the information. You will think about how to meet with Gustav yourself. Good.
Just give me the word, young man, I'll set it up.
Fouad bows, stretches, and walks off in the printing press. You sigh, trying to steady the furious beating of your heart. Gustav was one of your trusted agents back in Eterna. If he gets too friendly with the last straw Nanazote, your name will come up eventually. Do not think that Gustav ever found out that the Lotless was established on Felipe's order, but still he knows that you were deeply involved in the march. That alone might be enough for him to dismantle your cover story here in Nanazote. You need to deal with this problem as quickly as possible. Why can't I do anything? What was the loss of... What was it? What is it? What was it that I needed? Oh. Oh, man. Oh, screw that crap. But I didn't have the things I needed. Dealing with Gustav on your own could put you and your cover story in danger. You send Felipe an urgent report. You warn him about... No. No. Why would I do that? I could have used him. Hear nothing about Gustav or the Lotless. Your worries eventually disappear. No. There are no new rumors or reports about recent injuries throughout the Empire. No one... It feels strange at first, but soon you grow accustomed to the serene existence. Time marches on. These peaceful days cannot last forever, and one fine morning you receive a letter from Felipe. Good, I'm glad. Alright, I'm glad that our infiltration is going low. Get back to work. We've lost too much time already. Okay, cool. I want to bring my valor up. 22 years old. Okay, we're going to finish out our 22nd year, and then we're probably going to cut the episode a little short this time. We've been doing some longer episodes. A few years earlier, Eggman, Shegman, with Lesser Orm, and other several minds made a speech that caused quite a stir in the province, so Commoner Eggman had the gall to demand that Magran authorities both enforce and obey imperial law. What is the use of imperial laws if they're not enforced as they should be every day now and then? So to noblemen, I'm just going to read. Gentlemen may be our rulers, but does that mean that they can defy the emperor's will? Cyril Born has been appointed to enforce the rule of law in Magra. How come the prefect doesn't see this? We commoners aren't trying to seize the noble lot and take over the province. The rule of tradition is the thing of the past. This is the age of justice. We may not all be equal in its eyes, but even nobles and clergy must obey the law. Magran aristocracy is furious with Eggman and demands that he be silenced, but the rich industrialist has too much money and too many connections to be dealt with so easily. We hear more and more rumors about secret societies of commoners appearing in the city, plotting against noble rule. The gentry fears that Eggman and his peers might be behind this, but they have no proof, at least for now. Father Leonard, abbot of the Temple of the Silver Tree, I don't remember if we like you or not. Yes, we do. And he's the leader of the New Believers, supports Eggman, and has spoken publicly in his favor. Twins himself entrusted a noble estate with the right to rule over the common folk, but rulers must also care for their subjects. The old faith is mistaken. No commoner should ever be forced to suffer. It is this very reason the imperial law exists. It is there to ease the people's suffering. May those laws be duly enforced, and may they serve all the people of the empire. Okay, back to a struggle for power. I'm okay with this right now. Now we don't want to slip into misery and devastation. We don't want to slip into barren land, but I'm afraid that's coming no matter what happens. At least at this point. All right, a chat with a magistrate. Your heart is pounding madly in your chest. You grasp desperately for air, paralyzed by fear. Two burly young men have just pulled a sack over your head and shoved you into a carriage. Well, that's a great way to wake up to this brand new year. Happy New Year! Who could have done this? Are they Felipe's men, members of the last straw, someone else with a grudge against you? Where are they taking you? Who's got a grudge against me aside from Stefan? The carriage comes to a stop. They drag you out, put you on your feet, and force you to walk. March down long hallways, complete with silence, and at last they sit you in a chair. Remy L. Verman. Get that thing off his head. I can't talk to him like that, can I? Hand wrenches the sack off your head. Light stabs you in the eyes as you grasp for it. Wait a second. Did that say what I... As you gasp for air, I thought he was like grasping for the light that's stabbing his eyes. He's like, ah! 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 Get in there! Ah! It was okay, but that makes sense. Once your eyes adjusted, you see a dining table covered in years of dust. This is a noble mansion abandoned long ago. Once magnificent furniture is covered in rust and cobwebs. In the midst of this withered splendor, you see... Oh! You see in the midst of a man who is known to all, the magistrate of Anazote, Sir Remy Elverman. Suppose you've caught your breath by now, El Brante. Let's have a little chat, shall we? First, the obvious. I know what you are, and I know who you work for. I know your family. I know the power and I have the power to ruin you and your father and everyone else you care about. If anyone hears about this conversation, I will crush you before you can blink. But I didn't manage to arrange this meeting just to threaten you. I'm prepared to offer you something. Salvation. Okay. Smile. And now let's move onto the meat of our little, tete. You're in a real pickle, Brante. How about we not insult pickles? You will never escape Felipe's iron grip. He will continue to use you as long as you remain useful. And the moment that the usefulness ends, he will deem you an obstacle and eliminate you. However, I'd like to extend to you an order of protection. If you help me, I will keep you safe from Felipe and the secret chancellery. What I'm basically telling you to do is swap your Felipe handcuffs and take my handcuffs. They're a little bedazzled all over all the way around. I'm aware of Felipe's scheme to obtain special authority from the overseer. The old dog is hungry for power, but I have enough on my plate as it is, what with Elborn's prefecture and Egmont's lesser quorum. The secret chancellery is supposed to safeguard imperial rule, but instead, Felipe is playing a game of his own in my city. Anazote does not need another man who treats it like a plaything for acting out his utopian fantasies. This is a disaster waiting to happen. If the secret chancellery ever gets discretionary powers, no one will ever be able to stand in its way. Especially commoners like you. So here's the deal, Brante. You help me rid Anazote of the Lesser Quorum and all the other rebels and rabble-rousers, and I'll save you from Felipe. I already know that Mayor Egmont and his cronies are connected to your secret network, and knowing the secret chancellery, I'm quite certain that you've made a note of Egmont's every last misdeed. Once you've had enough evidence to put that good old mayor behind bars or a noose, bring me everything you've got on him and the others upstairs. Felipe will be left empty-handed. With Egmont out of the picture, I'll be free to disband the Lesser Quorum and rule the city in peace, and then I'll finally drive Felipe out of Anazote. Which means you will go free. I will rule as I should, as the city of Anazote will return to normal. No blood will be shed, there will be no more plotting, no more need to pretend. What do you say, Brante? Why? No. But how do I get those other things? I'm almost there. This sucks. This sucks. Oh, this sucks. A wise choice, Brante. Shut up. Your home has been much more peaceful for the last year. This sucks so bad. I hate this. The fights between Stefan and Gloria are not as fierce now, but how long will that last? Your job takes up your time, your parents and siblings less often. Sometimes you don't even know what they are doing while you deal with the constant stream of duties. This morning you head out on urgent business. You take one step out the gate and run into an uninformed Captain Lennon. Brante, your presence is requested at the prefecture dungeon. Taken aback, you ask what this is about. We have your brothers Stefan and Nathan Brante in the cell. They were arrested last night at the Steiner's Inn. They asked to send for you. The cells in the prefecture dungeon are cold and damp. The guard leads you to the bars, and behind you see Nathan huddled in the corner. Your younger brother is unshaven, more disheveled than usual, and reeking of wine and filth. Near the cell, you see Stefan grimly sitting in a chair. You guess that the thought it best not to put him in the same cell as his low-born brother. Upon seeing you, Nathan lets out a whimper, and Stefan cracks a bitter smile. Sheath on your brother's belt is empty.
There you are at last, Bump. Have a good look at our younger brother. Yesterday he got drunk. In the company of some dubious fellows, the commoners yet they dared to surrender to pleasure. They started a brawl, wrecked the inn, harassed the waitress. As soon as I heard, I rushed to save this drunken from shame.
Nathan cowers in the corner, horror struck.
I walked in and demanded Nathan come with me, but his cronies wouldn't let him go. That's not true. I've such a bad headache. Do you have any brownies? Please, just one. You grabbed me by the collar and dragged me after you. You nearly suffocated me. Shut up. The brothers seem to have some sort of sect. They all shouted defamations against the twin gods, and one of them grabbed me by the arm. I was forced to skewer this heretic with my sword. I hoped the lesser death would teach him never to lay his filthy paws on a noble. He was just trying to talk to you, Stefan. I'm gonna leave both of you in here. Silence! The Germanders barged in, and here we are. I have been accused of an unlawful murder. Apparently, the new laws allow killing a commoner only if he attacks first or wields a weapon. They say in the event of an insult, I'm supposed to file a complaint with the prefecture, and now they're going to seize my sword for a whole year. What a shame, and it's all your fault, Nathan. Bump, brother.
Wow, there's so little I can do. And I didn't take the path of the priest. I have no authority. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do that. I hate this because I'm so weak right now. Look at this. Look at this. I'm so frustrated by this. Scheming, I'm a dangerous one. Willpower, I've got a ton of willpower. I am silver-tongued. But I'm, diplomacy, whatever. But if I just wasn't weak in battle, if my manipulation was okay. Oh, sucks. You know what? I'm tired of these two right now. Because Nathan's a weakling and he's making things much more difficult, and Stefan is an a-hole. I'm gonna refuse to help. You icily tell Stefan that he will have to bear the consequences of an action himself. As benefits a nobleman, you will not interfere. I don't want to read his voice right now. Do you think I'm pleading for myself, Burp? I can withstand any blow. Then do it. That commoner's death wasn't my fault. You need to rot in here for a little while. Nathan stares dully at the stones beneath his feet. You turn around and leave. The crime of killing a commoner, Stefan is publicly forbidden to carry a sword for a year. This is when father and the rest of the family finally become aware of the incident. After the verdict, Stefan spends his days secluded in his chambers. He does not travel or take part in social activities. Your elder brother cannot bear the shame of being seen without his sword. I don't care. Nathan is sentenced to hard labor in order to pay for the damage done to the city and suffer in accordance with his lot. That's honestly probably going to help him with his alcohol addiction. When he comes home dusty after a day of artist toil, your younger brother does not speak to any of you and locks himself in his room. I don't care. I don't care. My willpower's up, but I can't do crap with my willpower. Freedom of speech. What time I got? I got 30 minutes. I should be getting close to the end. Your print shop has been graced by the unusual suspect, a short man, considerable age, dressed brown cassock priest. Smile appears on his round face. Morning, young man. You must see the owner of the splendid print shop. I've heard so much about you and this wonderful place of yours. Ask the visitor's name. What brings him to your print shop? Oh, yes, my apologies. I am Mark, Father Mark, if you will. There's a certain matter I hope you can help me with. I've learned much during my years in this world, but alas, our time here is short, and like everyone else, I will eventually have to face the ruthless scrutiny of the twins themselves. However, I'd like the truths that have been revealed to me to live on after I shuffle off this mortal coil, which is why I've come to you. I've written a book, you see, and now I want you to help me print it. I want the largest print you can possibly manage. Your priest is clearly not giving you the full picture. Why come here of all places? You see, young man, my teachings are a bit bold for the realm that has endured 1,000 years of the twins' tyranny. Even the new faith sees truths I preach as exclusively blasphemous. But your print shop is known for its, shall we say, open-minded approach. I believe that you have the fortitude to appreciate my teachings and the courage to accept my order. Would Father Mark be so kind as to explain his teachings to you? Another smile hardly appears on the monk's face. But of course, my son, by the will of the twins, it is my lot to preach. How could I refuse to instruct those in need? Here's the fundamental principle of my doctrine. Our gods are crap. We don't. Print! We don't need them. They say a tree is known by its fruit. Well, the twins are a tree. And the fruits are will, love, and law. But their will is arbitrary, their love is cruel, and their law is ruthless. The twins don't know the meaning of the word mercy. All they bring this world is suffering. Everyone in this world is miserable, regardless of their state or status. And we will continue to be miserable as long as we continue to accept the burden of the divine shades. There's only one path to salvation in this world. Reject the twins outright. You, and you only, must accept the responsibility for your own life. Forge your own secular law. Fill your heart with secular love. Exercise your own secular will, and forget all about the twins. But what about the hereafter, you say? What about final judgment, eternal torment, and the foot of the pillar? I had this revelation in the very first episode. Everyone asks me this, and here's what I tell them. What happens to you in the hereafter doesn't matter, because there won't be any you in the hereafter. We will all be dissolved in the twins' own endless will. Out there on the other side of true death, Father Mark will cease to exist. And so will you, young man. You will have no will, you will make no decisions, you will be incapable of action. In other words, your life will be over. Your existence ends with your true death. Whatever happens to you after that won't be really happening to you. So who cares? So let's all tell the twins to take their yeah. Why would I print it in secret? I wonder what this would do. Let's cast away the yoke of the gods and live our words free. This is what he has been longing for. The entirety of the game has been building up to this point. I mean, not specifically to this point. This is another step in the stone, but it's to that point where Burn completely rejects the twins altogether. So yeah, he's going to print it, and he's going to spread it himself. To reject the twins is to defy their laws, their will, and their love. To reject the twins is to deny that their empire is blessed and absolute. To reject the twins is to deny that the tempest are chosen by the gods themselves to rule. This teaching begins to spread. There will be unrest. the likes of which the province has not seen since the emergence of the new faith. It's basically atheism. It's atheism with an acceptance of God's existence. His book is Fomenting Rebellion Against the Tempests, the Empire, and the Twins. You accept Brother Mark's manuscript and promise to print the run as soon as possible, but perhaps he needs someone to help him distribute the books. It wouldn't be a simple matter for you to arrange it. Why so eager, young man? Your response to are music. That Father Mark's words are music to your ears. You charm him with a passionate tale of your own creation, describing your many thoughts about the divine design that fills all of our lives with suffering. To prove your words, you quote the words of Issatias in the Lives of the Twins, which you remember from childhood. His works are riddled with contradictions, but Father Mark has resolved them all so simply by saying, "Screw it." You eventually get so caught up in your own fervor that even your own promise to cover some of the expenses for the print run. This is how convinced you are that Father Mark's doctrine must be shared. Father Mark is impressed. Well, if you truly understand my teaching so well, I am sure I can trust you to both print and distribute the book. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope that my sermon has been of some use to you. Do not waste your worldly life in vain. It's too short. Only here in this life can we truly change anything. Only here can we truly feel alive. Alright. You get to work. To ensure that all goes well, you do most of the work alone. Only sometimes do you ask other employees for help, and even then you make sure they never work on the book long enough to glean its true nature. Every 5 days you receive a new address and deliver the books to them as they are printed. Temples and monasteries, small villages, churches, large parishes, commoners, and states. There are so many apostates in Magra. You may have helped propel Father Mark's teachings into the future. These thin little volumes and cheap leather bindings will spread across the empire like wildfire. You have placed another bundle of kindling on the bonfire. One day, sooner or later, it will catch fire. When you learn the last of the print run is to be delivered to the residence of Patriarch Cassius, the last piece of the puzzle falls in place. The face of the providential clergy, the head of the Church of the Twin Gods of Magra, has fallen victim to Mark's apostasy as well, or has it? You have to act quickly. You carefully transcribe all the address and send the list to Felipe. The response, why would I do that? Father Mark is a heretic and a renegade. The Inquisition has been hunting this man for years. Father Mark has been arrested and handed over to the Inquisition thanks to your report. He is no longer a threat to the Empire. The Inquisition is about to announce a purge of the Markian heresy throughout Magra. Crap! Patriarch Cassius. The Inquisition's problem. We will stay out of it. However, this was a valuable resource for them. The collaboration will... Oh, I hate this man. I hate this man. Now for the bad news. One of your noblemen who received a book from you recognized you. What's worse, his friends have already heard about it. There's no way to stop the rumors now. Your family is about to become the talk of the town. Get ready to weather the storm. Do not repeat this mistake in the future. Your family's reputation offers great protection, but it's more vulnerable than it might seem. Oh, I have none. I'm gaining nothing. Alright, after this little scene here, I'll wrap it up. I really could play this game non-stop until it ends. Magra received alarming news from the neighbor provinces of Elira. The low-born convicts toiling in the Elira mines have revolted against their noble masters. For the first time in many long peaceful years, commoners have taken up arms. Imperial Legion was deployed to dispel the riot. The legionaries have slaughtered the rebels without mercy, and the uprising choked to death on its own blood before it even had begun. The south of Elira is now a forest of gallows. Wow, the convicts' corpses were left swaying in the wind as a way of warning the commoner who might dare to take up arms. Although the rebellion quickly succumbed to the Imperialist military onslaught, many Legion soldiers and officers were slain by the insurgents' firearms. Their steel armor was no match for bullets. The rioters' weapons were destroyed in a public ceremony, but no one knows who built or smuggled them into their mines. All Imperial overseers soon issued public reminders to their provinces The punishment for owning a gunpowder weapon is true death by execution. Jeez, but the Empire is still restless, still anxious. Somehow guns found their way into the commoners' hands, if only for a short time. Could gunpowder and lead one day endanger the old ways of the Empire? This is why you have guns, so you can protect yourselves, and so that the government can't force you to do anything. I'm not advocating for what what's that word? What is that word? I'm not advocating for anarchy, but I am saying that the way that you avoid actual fascism is you have guns, which is why it makes no sense that fascists hand out guns. You see why that starts to become a problem. Due to the double tax of peasants' farms and industrial manufacturers are facing harsh times, the province's wealth is steadily declining, but the discontent of the commoners is still held back by the eternal lot that demands they accept their suffering. It's not good. Alright. Peacetime ends soon. Achieve the goal you've chosen to meet all of its conditions at the end of the chapter. So we don't have enough unrest yet. I'm gonna take a look and see how the unrest is going. Because, no, not the map. Okay, so we have to undo the order a little bit more. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to call it there for right now, and I will see you guys later. But, I keep forgetting when I do that. Bye.